Hey guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast, and I kind of came into a conundrum this morning. I wanted to start talking about Joe Biden and how he already started talking. He already started thanking. I think it was basically 6 police officers that cleared out downtown Nashville Christmas morning, and probably, without a doubt, saved lives that morning, putting themselves in harm's way. If you guys have seen the interviews, there's an African American police officer and a female police officer that appeared to be together. They're talking about holding each other up as the blast wave hit them, and they got hit by flying debris and whatnot, and you could hear it. You can't imagine what that must be like to have that blast wave hit you. And I think of the bravery that entails that job of being the police officer. Have just on Christmas morning, on an average quiet Christmas morning, having to go out there and maybe not even go home that night to your family. That's your job. That's what you do. And I thought about that, but then a fraction of a second later, I thought about Andre Hill, Columbus, Ohio, the police officer there, that didn't even try to, we don't know because he turned his camera on too late, the officer, but we can't hear what he's saying, but it appears he never tried to de-escalate the situation or to make any sense of the situation before ending Mr. Hill's existence on this earth for carrying a cell phone in his own garage. It's just, I haven't been able to do a video on this because I get so angry and I start, if you guys have noticed, I only made one video. I made a video within hours of that happening, and I haven't been able to make a video since because I get so angry when I talk about this. The most infuriating part of this thing with the Columbus, Ohio, and the garage is that this officer didn't attempt to offer the least bit of aid, of consolation to Andre Hill as he lied on the ground there. Not even a hand on his shoulder. Medics are coming. Nothing. Wouldn't even allow other people near him. It's still just. So how do I make sense of this? You have these officers here in Nashville, Tennessee, saved multiple lives. This is what they do. You know, Christmas morning, they want to go home to their families, and they're out there dealing with an unhinged individual that's going to eliminate himself and his camper and a good couple blocks of downtown Nashville. And that's their job. And they do it, and they did it. And then on the other hand, you have the officer that was in Columbus, Ohio. How do you make sense of that? How do you sort these officers out? What I see in Columbus, Ohio, is I see a man that should have never been a police officer. I see a man that was afraid. And it's you know what? And it's okay to be afraid. But it's not okay to be afraid and do that job. I don't know what the job entails. I don't know the training that's involved, but what I saw there was fear. As the officer immediately starts backpedaling with his drawn down, I see nothing but panic. I see panic is what I see in a police officer. And I try to make sense of this. And, so last year, with George Floyd and everything that happened, we have these calls to defund the police. And I'll tell you guys my opinion of that. That phrase was it's not an apt phrase. It's not a good way to approach this, is my opinion. It sounds like you want to get rid of all police, the entire police departments, and I personally that's stupid. That's ridiculous. People be driving 120 down interstates, driving drunk, bar fights, what have you. What we might have now, January 6th, which is what I want to talk about next. I don't know. You know what? I don't have an answer. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know how to make sense of it. I don't even know how to work that into a video. Columbus, Ohio, and the officers that did their job in Nashville. How do you make sense of that? You have the brave people that save lives over here, and the panicky, the opposite, in Columbus, Ohio, with Andre Hill. The exact opposite. An officer that appears to be terrified of one man holding a cell phone, terrified enough that he was willing to pull out his service piece and eliminate Mr. Hill. It's just, I can't make sense of it. That's why I haven't been able to make a video on this. I've made about 3 or 4 videos in the last 4 days, and I haven't published any of them because my anger and my ideas just keep changing from moment to moment. I don't know what the answer to this is. I don't know how to see into people's heads and determine if they're harboring some kind of hidden discrimination, some kind of inner hatred or fear of people that don't look like them, because that's what we're dealing with here. With that policeman that backed away from Andre Hill in that garage, he wasn't looking at Mr. Hill like he would look at his brother or his neighbor. He was looking at Mr. Hill like some kind of monster, like something out of a horror movie that he had to eliminate. And that is not who we need behind a badge. How do we tell these people apart? Other than intricate psychological tests, and who knows if those will even work. I don't have the answers here. I don't. All right, well, I've run down my time. I'm going to do another video because I really want to talk about January 6th and Donald Trump and his quoting. Apparently now he's quoting voices in his head on Twitter. That'll be the next video. I'll be back shortly with another video. You guys have a good Tuesday. I'll be right back.